It's going to be completely different. What somebody told you from what you read for yourself. And that is why I encourage everybody, read the Bible for yourself. You don't have to take up a defensive posture when it comes to the Bible. I find that to be so true with Christians. You try to ask a question, you try to question what you have read in the Bible, to ask them, what do you know about this? Have you ever read this? I mean, what is your take on it? Them want to get all defensive because how dare you to question the Bible, and as though you are supposed to just continue to be led without ever stopping to ask any questions. And that is why all of these so-called fake ministers are able to bamboozle so many of us. You understand? Why? Because we don't intend to read for ourselves. We don't try to read for ourselves so that we can ask the questions. Because you all know that I like to read. I'm always reading a book. But me never read one book as confusing as the Bible. And every time we say it, people say, oh, you need to pray and ask God for wisdom and knowledge and understanding when you're reading the Bible. Seriously. Kazen! Kazen, what's up? Listen, if the Bible is supposed to be my moral compass, I am supposed to be able to read and understand it. And you all know, let me tell you all know why? Why when you read the Bible, some of it you don't understand. Sometimes it is the language that is being used. It might give you a sort of a different interpretation of it. But even so, the majority of the Bible, especially this part here that is written in English, because the Bible is translated in many different languages. But the part that is written in English, I pride myself on being able to read the English language and understand it adequately enough to be able to govern myself accordingly. So if you tell me, say, when me read the Bible, I'm not supposed to understand it because I'm supposed to be saved first and I'm supposed to be all kind of something. Like, are y'all serious, people? I am supposed to be saved before I can read the Bible and understand it. So if the Bible is supposed to save me then, so to speak, if the Bible is supposed to save me, why do I have to be saved before I can understand the Bible when I read it? We're putting the cart before the horse here. Because isn't it that I'm supposed to read the Bible and understand the Bible, and then through that understanding, I am declared saved? Understand that? Talk to me, people. Is that how it would have been the logical way to do it? But you're gonna tell me, oh, Trev, you need to be saved for you to understand the Bible. And I say to these people, me not really tell them shut up, because I don't like to be that brash. Me not like that. Me not like that. But me have to tell them, take a step back and listen to yourself. Repeat that by yourself when you are in the toilet, in the bathroom, alone by yourself somewhere. Repeat that to yourself several times and ask yourself, if what you said to me just now, if it makes sense. I'm supposed to be saved first before me can understand the Bible. You never hear nothing fool, sir? I never hear nothing like that before. So my dear sister, and the same way you have to die first in order to have eternal. Exactly. You have to die first before you have eternal life. You have to die first before you can come back alive. Before you get like, come on, people. Come on. You understand? I mean, I don't understand the thought process of some people. But I am not here to knock anybody's religion. Let me just make that clear. I have been raised in the church, baptized, you name it. I tell you all the time, the only thing, all of these rites of passage that people experience in their churches. My church never christened me, right? My church baptized me. My church collect offering from me. My church do everything. And the only thing my church did not do for me is christen me. I want to know why my church didn't christen me. My church didn't christen me because even though my parents were born and raised in that same church, they were young people who had experimented, or that me call it, experimented, and had me out of wedlock. My parents weren't married when I was born. And even though the same Bible says, suffer the little children to come unto me, my church say, you're not have no suffering coming here because your parents got you out of wedlock. So you cannot come here. We will not present you to the Lord. That was their way of discarding me like trash. All right? If that was me, if I was my mother, then that the church couldn't see me again and couldn't get another dollar out of my pocket. But my parents never see it that way. You understand? Them like sheep and slaves. Them say, oh, well, you know, actually, we never did married. So, that's true, man. The Bible say you've been married before. And since we never did married, we kind of deserve the punishment. Eh? Really? Really? Up to me would have gone. But that was them and that was their calling. All right? Later on in the years, as the years went by, and more people complain, Pastor daughter get pregnant, Pastor not tell feed pitney say, you get pregnant and you have the baby can't christen here. Pastor christen his child there. So there, his grandchild there. Other people in the church, deacons, yeah, them get pregnant and them run go married, yeah, them get christened. And later on, them claim to change the law. But me think them say the word of God never changed. So if it was the word of God that telling us that me couldn't christen, how we change to christen other people? But anyway, that just goes to show that whatever is written in the Bible, it is pliable. All right? When Moses was distributing land and inheritance after the children of Israel had come out of the wilderness of Zin, when they got out of the wilderness and Moses was giving away land and inheritance and all these things, there was a man called Zelophehad, for those of you who don't know. There was a man called Zelophehad who had left Egypt with the children of Israel. And while they were in the wilderness, Zelophehad had passed away. Zelophehad had only 5 daughters. He had no sons. Back then, the laws said when an inheritance is being given, it is given only to your sons. Your daughters don't get any, because whoever she is going to marry, that person would have gotten inheritance from their father. All right. All right. So the belief was that the prevailing belief was that when you marry, whatever your husband has is yours. So the man must have something for his wife to have. So the wife no need to have nothing for herself. That was the prevailing idea. Now, when Moses was distributing all this inheritance, there wasn't any for Zelophehad's 5 daughters. Zelophehad's inheritance would now be given to his brother if he had a brother. If he did not have a brother, it would be given to some male in his family. That was the law. And Zelophehad's daughters would not have it. Good morning, AG. Bless up yourself. How are you doing? All right. Sonny B, what's up? Billy. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning. Yeah. So Zelophehad's daughters would not have it. So they went to Moses and they said, listen, even though we are women, we can handle an inheritance too. We can get an inheritance. And Moses said, no, that is not the law. The law said, you cannot get it because you all are women. And the 5 daughters, the 5 sisters, they petitioned their case. What means why I'm so early? Early bird catch the worm. Yeah. Yeah. So they petitioned Moses to revisit that law because they wanted their father's inheritance. And eventually, after Moses had consulted, I don't know him consult, he must consult God, him in consult with the other elders, and they eventually agreed that yes, Zelophehad's daughters could get his inheritance. And so it was that the inheritance of Zelophehad was given to his 5 daughters. All right, so that goes to show that in the Bible, whatever is in the Bible, these laws that Moses had given to the people, these laws were pliable. It wasn't like all in all and God said women mustn't get it and not get it no matter what. You understand? What I mean by me too early and nice in your head? Hush. Hush, Friday, we gotta get cracking. We gotta do what we gotta do. I'm late actually because it is after 6. I should have started reading since 4 o'clock, but I was busy collecting some material for online for some stuff that I'm writing. So that's why I never come yet. But hush. Yeah. So that went to show my people that you have a right to question. You have a right to question what is in the Bible. You have a right to question what is presented to you. You have a right to question it regardless of who it is that is presenting something to you. You have a right. You can't just sit down like sitting duck and just take something. So if Zelophehad's daughters had just sat there and just say, oh well, we don't have nothing to get because the law say so me I collect offering. Me say if we could have just collect some offering, right? If everybody has a pass around collection plate, why me can't pass around collection plate too? I may I bring you to the truth and them I tell you no lie. Yeah, me I work later. Yes, AG. You understand? So when people tell you they don't want you to question something and they try to blackmail you, when you try to ask question, them try to start this gaslighting of you telling you you're going to hell and you're blaspheme and all these things. That is a type of mind control. They want to scare you. They want to scare you into submission. So if them can scare you enough, make you feel so, Lord, if I ask any question about the Bible, me I go to hell. Hell I want place where them I go burn me up. Oh Lord, me no, but I can't ask no question here, man. Make me just go on with it. Oh no. Oh no, no make nobody gaslight you like that. Ask questions. Read for yourself. Read with read to get an understanding based on the context of what is in the Bible. Because I have found that when you read the Bible, you just grab the Bible and read a verse. You don't get the full context of what the verse is about. Who is talking in that verse? To whom are they talking? What are they talking about? Why that statement was made? You understand? You have to read the book and start to question the characters in the Bible. You have to start to try to put two and two together. I try no people. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with one of my, when I tell one of my ardent supporters, we always have a conversation after the reading of the Bible. We'll have a conversation. See you later, Kaiser. Now be safe, my love. I know you all getting a lot of snow in your town. But be careful, my love. And we usually go over the readings and the discrepancies that we usually find in the Bible. And she brought up a very interesting point, because we were talking about how Jeremiah had said in his open letter, in I think it was Jeremiah 29, I believe it was. I think it was Jeremiah 29. In his open letter to the Jewish people who were being captured and taken into Babylon, Jeremiah said they must go down there. They must continue to breed, continue to have children, have their daughters take husbands down there, and have their sons take wives down there, and continue to multiply so that their numbers can continue to grow. All right. Remember, I know that Jeremiah was I think it's modern day people who have put Jeremiah on a pedestal. I don't think it was the ancient Jewish people, because the ancient Jewish people had a problem with Jeremiah and Jeremiah's teachings. They had a problem with Jeremiah. But Jeremiah said they should go down there to Babylon, continue to have children, let their daughters, remember, the Jewish, according to the Jews, they weren't supposed to marry anybody who was not a descendant of Jacob. They were only encouraged to marry amongst themselves. Moses said that was the law. And if you ever marry anybody who is not a descendant of Jacob, you were duly punished. But at the same time, Moses was married to a whole Ethiopian. All right? If you don't read the Bible, there's something there you're not going to hear. Because pastor not going to tell you that at church, because it will go against the picture that's already been painted of Moses. You understand what I mean? Just like how right now, when you see how TDGX is getting shifted, when you see I'm getting shifted, there are some people who do not want to hear about the shipment. Yeah? Why? Because they have already been bamboozled into believing in that one man. So them don't want to hear. So even if the light a shine right in the eye, hold on, because my device dying. Never realized that the charger plug out. Yes. So as I was saying, so even though Moses was telling the people, you are not supposed to marry anybody that is not a descendant of a descendant of Jacob, I mean. You understand? He was married to a whole Ethiopian, but he was punishing the people and telling them they have to do what he says. And y'all remember when his sister Miriam and that other fellow there brought it up to Aaron and said, but we don't understand this. How comes Moses punish people and tell people, say, them can't married to nobody who is not a descendant of Jacob, but he married to an old Ethiopian. Aaron said to them, I don't know, say, on right though, on right, you know, on right. Now I go bring it up to him and ask him about it. When Aaron brought it up to Moses, Moses get mad. Moses got upset and claimed same consult God. And God tell him, or God strike a curse on Miriam on his behalf. And Miriam ended up with leprosy. The young man, the other young man who was with Miriam asking the question, he came out of his tent one morning and the earth opened up and swallowed him up and his tent. You don't believe them something there? Listen, don't read the Bible for yourself here. I don't make people bamboozle, no. You understand? Aaron, though, was spared. Nothing happened to Aaron. But that's what happened. In the same good book here. You understand? So when I say, I want to know what is in this book, I am as serious. That was the man's name, Korah. I think that was his name. Thank you very much, Malkesia. Thank you very much. Yes. So when I say to you that you got to read the Bible for yourself, I mean it. Because when you go to church, pastor only pick out a story here and a story there and tell you. But if you read the Bible for yourself and get the context of what is being said, you will realize that you got a lot of questions, but you might be afraid to ask because you are so afraid that they're going to accuse you of blasphemy and they're going to tell you they're condemning you to hell and all these things. No, make nobody gaslight yourself. Ask questions. Okay? Now, let me go back to this thing that I was telling you earlier, this discrepancy that we were talking about yesterday, where Jeremiah 29 in his open letter, Jeremiah 29 in tell the people them who were being taken into captivity down into Babylon, where he told them that they should go down there and go multiply so that they can keep up the numbers of the Jewish people. So they must go down there, take some The sons need to take daughters down there. The daughters need to take sons. They must marry and continue to breed and have children. All right? Y'all remember. I'm glad say they bring this up in us, sis, because that was one of the things that admittedly had slipped me. Yeah. You know, it would have come back to me, but not. I didn't come back just now until you had mentioned that in the book of Ezra, chapter 10, I think it was, Ezra chapter 10. You all remember when Nehemiah had come back from Syria to come rebuild Jerusalem? Nehemiah said he needed the hands of the Jewish men. He needed the knowledge of the Jewish men, the strength and the power of the Jewish men to come and rebuild Israel. He was calling on them who were down there in Babylon. Say, come back to Israel and let us rebuild our country. Let us rebuild our city, Jerusalem. And you know one stipulation he had for them? He said, if you were in Babylon and you had married a Babylonian woman, you cannot bring her back. And you cannot bring back the children that you have from that marriage. Now, all of you all who jumping on the case and telling me, say, the Bible was written by men inspired by God. What kind of inspiration you get out of that? I guess so. Okay. What kind of inspiration you get out of that? Ezra and Nehemiah them agreed that the men who were in Babylon at the time, they were calling for them because they need hands, they need security, they need people to do the work, to come back to Jerusalem and rebuild the city. But they cannot carry back the wives that they had down there. If they marry a Babylonian woman and they had children who were half Jew and half Babylonian, they could not bring those children or those wives back. All right? So here now, you never tell me, say God instruct these people, say to tell the people them, so them to abandon their wife and then seed. Abandon your wife and your seed and come. For you to be accepted, to come back, you have to abandon your wife and your children. And Jeremiah said, in a theme open letter when claim him get from God, said the people they must continue to breed down there. So you see why the Jewish people they were always running away. We were always trying to find peace somewhere, trying to find a place where they can live their lives without all of this confusion. And that's why they're running out. They weren't running for any other reason, you know. Because if the laws that existed for them were laws that were workable, were laws that were reasonable, the people them wouldn't have run so. But the laws were not reasonable. They were not fair. They were not, those laws were just so outlandish. And then it had the people starting to question the God that was presented to them. And wouldn't you question too? Of course. You have to ask questions. You can't just be led, allow yourself to be led like that. You have to ask questions. So, and because these people were subjected to so much hatred and cruelty and death and destruction, and all of it, if you notice, all of it was said to be coming from their God. You wouldn't want to run? Of course. Because all these prophets, when they preach death and destruction on the people, they never tell the people, say, them a conspire with the enemy to come destroy Israel. Them tell the people, them say, God says so. God doing it. So the people were confused. Oh, me fear serve this a God, and all this a God after me is death and destruction. Now me as well, me go along over there, so they go, when me look down at Egypt, we see people them down at Egypt, I worship one sit and make out a stone. And them down there, them not experience of death and destruction like us. Me as well, me go on down there and go live amongst them and practice with them and, marry one Egyptian man and just stay down there, put it down there and just abandon this because you're not pay death and destruction they hear so. No, understand? Jeremiah claimed to have been the all-in-all prophet, capable of talking to God, and God giving him all his instruction. And if God tell him, say, if you tell the children of Israel who were being taken into captivity, so them to go down to Babylon and go breed and go have kids and go, grow, so that when he calls them again to come back to Israel, there will be a lot of them. Their numbers would not have dwindled. And then when it's them supposed to come back, the next prophet said, God said, "Oh, no, can't come back with the wife and the people them want to have them." Boy, I tell you, people, I tell you, reading this Bible here is a challenge for me, trust me, because I've come across so many discrepancies in here that make me say, no wonder when Zedekiah in the second Kings, in second, wait, I'm gonna find it, Curty and WhatsApp, I'm gonna find it because I'm gonna tell you the exact place in the Bible. You understand me? Let me tell you the exact part in the Bible. Sometimes I go tell you the exact part in the Bible, and sometimes in my passion, I remember the exact part, I might remember the book, I mean, I remember the exact part. But if you hear me say something, you can always go further Google, put it in, and it will take you to the place in the Bible where it is, and you read it for yourself. And if you find somebody say something where I never did so it go, you tell me. Because I remember saying, this is a journey. This is a journey, and we can slip sometimes. We can slip sometimes. So what did I say is, in the book of Kings, in First Kings, well, I'm looking at my Bible. Come let me see for First Kings 20. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, first and second. Samuel, 2 Kings, and Chronicles. All right. Kings. First Kings, in First Kings 22. Oh, yeah, me have it well folded enough, guys. So something this I'm gonna come back to. All right. So in First Kings 20, in First Kings 22, you all remember when where it says, I want to find the exact book, but it says that the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of the prophets. And my question was, the Lord put a lying spirit? Why would the Lord put a lying spirit? Huh? It says, so now the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouths of all these prophets of yours. The Lord has decreed disaster on you. Then Zedekiah, the son of Kenana, went up and slapped Micaiah in the face. No, hold on, let me read this. Let me read it straight out of Isaiah, feel now. Hold on, I'm coming on with it. Now you would have think say these things would not be happening in the Bible. But may I tell you say, as far as I am concerned, the Bible has been, so far of all the books I have read, the Bible has been the most violent. The most violent. I mean, I don't say it. It is the truth. There has been so much violence in the Bible. It makes you wonder, isn't this the book that is supposed to be your moral compass? Isn't this the book that is supposed to inspire you? Isn't it? But instead, the book is filled with violence. Jordan, what's up? What are you doing? Bless up yourself. Bless up yourself, Jordan. And you would think that in the Bible, there wouldn't be anything like this. But it is. You understand? And you have to question all these things that these men say God tell them. Everybody come with a different version and say God tell them. Everybody come with a different story and say God tell them. So who you believe? Who are you to believe? Who should the people believe? Who them to believe? Because if you believe in your prophets and somebody come up and declare themselves a prophet and say, God tell me if he tell you, say, you must come back, come build up your throne in a Jerusalem because he want you back here to build your throne at Jerusalem. And you come back and you build your throne at Jerusalem because you believe this man. And then, couple months after you build up your throne and you think all is well, then the enemy in the form of Nebuchadnezzar come up with all his army and slay you and everybody else. Wouldn't you stop and ask yourself, so where was God? Where is the God who said me did to come back and build up my throne in Jerusalem? Wouldn't you ask? Because to me, that would look like a setup. To me, that would look like a setup. I was where I was peacefully living my life, and you tell me, say, God tell me to come back here, so I'ma come back and now the enemy come up and destroy me. And we have since discovered that that was indeed a setup by Jeremiah on the children of Israel. Because after Nebuchadnezzar come and destroyed all the people in Jerusalem, what happened? He gave Jeremiah a whole lot of gifts. What just happened here, so? What do you bring? But yeah, why me life just cut off, so? I don't know what just happened, so. So the live pause automatically. I don't know what pause the live automatically. Yeah. I don't know what pause the live automatically, but TikTok say it did pause automatically. Me just see shut down. Okay. But anyway, we are gonna continue. We are gonna continue reading this Bible. All right. Let me tell you all before we go any further. For those of you who are just coming, Cartier and bless up yourself. Happy Friday to you, my love. For those of you who are just coming, let me tell you now, I do not endorse any particular religion or denomination. No, I do not. All right. I am just a simple, ordinary person who has taken on this challenge of reading the Bible for myself and trying to understand it for myself. And I have decided to not do it privately by myself, but to do it out aloud because I am aware that there are others out there who have questions as well. So the one we go and learn together, we have been coming from the book of Genesis. So Joseph, you just joining at the book of Ezekiel. Osh. Yeah. But we have been coming from Genesis. Cortian says, lots of violence. And when you read Revelations, your head will spin. The thing that is going to be happening. All right. We're getting there, sis. We're getting there bit by bit. We're getting there. Right. We're getting there bit by bit. We're reading one book at a time. And even though we know that the Bible is not written in chronological order, the Bible is not written in chronological order. It was texts that were written by different Jewish people in different era of time that were collected and put together to comprise the Bible. The Bible is not nobody sit down and write and God give them inspiration. I know that sounds comforting. That sounds comforting to hear that the Bible was written by men inspired by God. That sounds quite comforting, but I'm not true. The Bible not written by no men, inspired by nobody or no entity or nothing. No. The Jewish people, just like ancient people, were encouraged to write their experiences, and the people wrote. They wrote what they felt. They wrote what they saw. They wrote what they believed. And everybody was writing. And there were hundreds and hundreds of people who were claiming. Remember, at that time, it was important. You became important if you claimed to be a prophet and you claim that you can talk to God. All of a sudden, you're important. Just like all right now, all of we are content creator, all of we are bloggers and vloggers and all these things. You understand? Yeah. So some people are going to think some of we are good bloggers. Some people are going to think say some of we go sit down. And some people think say, you understand? Some people gonna like your content. Some people are gonna like it. It's the same thing. All these it was in their time. It was important. If you wanted to be anybody, you better come out and say you are a prophet and you able to talk to God. Once you come out and declare say you're a prophet and you're able to talk to God, everybody start respect you. Everybody start to expect great things from you. And that is why we found that there were so many false prophets. The whole country was saturated with prophets. The poor people them confused. How are you going to know which one are true prophet and which one is not? How are you going to determine which one is telling you the truth from God and which one is not? There is no way to know. So you just pick your choice and pick which one to follow. And each of these prophets, it's clear that like politicians, they were in competition. So everybody coming up with the most outlandish prophecy to make themselves more believable. And just like now, you have all of these motivational speakers coming out, and the one we can the most. I go get the people. It was like a competition. The one who can come out and claim say is more orthodox than anybody else. Woman of the place in the church, any woman who they preach, they're going to hell and all of these things. It's like a competition. It's like a political warfare. All of these pastors coming out, trying to get your money, throwing at the offering. So everybody are coming for them one brand of preaching, for them one brand of belief, for them one brand to see which one of them can grab the most followers to get the most money. You understand? I see people are jump up and I talk about amen, amen. The Bible says, woman not to do this, woman I said, as Mr. Bible can say is what you fool them. Sorry if you call them fool, but it is what it is. Like what you fool them. sit down there, a clap and I say amen. When somebody I go tell you say, Bible say, woman no fit talk in a church, woman no fit have no, like seriously people, you have to just say back up, back up, back up. And because you don't read the Bible for yourself, why you sit down underneath the sermon there and jump and chant amen and drop the money in an offering bucket and claim say you been blessed. After no listen to them something, no claim say you been blessed. But anyway, to each his own. And them top there why me no endorse no religion or denomination, because they cannot even agree amongst themselves. You have 1,010,000 different denominations, all of them under the same Christianity, all of them using the same Bible, and each one of them claiming to be the right one, and each one of them claiming to them a God and the rest of God. Why would I want to be a part of that confusion? I mean, I like confusion. I don't want to be a part of that confusion, because out of the 1,010,000 of them, which one is supposed to pick? Which one is supposed to pick when everybody use the same Bible? How comes we can't come together and have one single denomination based on the Bible if we are all using the same Bible? Are the same Bible? Are the same teaching in the Bible? Are the same things in the Bible? So why we have so many denominations? So since we cannot even agree amongst ourselves, we not go bamboozle me and trap me into joining any of religion, denominations, and then claim that this denomination is the right denomination and this one is going to heaven. This one I worship today, the next one I worship tomorrow. I say, be kind. Love each other. Treat each other the way you would want to be treated. You don't want no more love than that. You understand? You don't need no more love than that. Let me see what they go on. Quartian says, pray and ask God to show you. The false prophet, the Bible says, people will deceive you, but you have to be aware and be careful. You see, the people them have to be so aware and so careful when every second person among them is a prophet. Every second person among them claim to be talking to God. Every second person among them claim to be getting a message from God for them. You understand? Then the people them get so confused. Get so confused. So confused. Sister Tisha, what's up? Bless up yourself. Bless up yourself. Plumber in the place. Mr. Murderer. Mr. Plumber in the place. Plumber, what's Tisha said that's why we are to know God for ourselves. That's right there, Letitia. And you know that back then, the people, it looked like say, God was in malice with the ordinary people, because only the people who were priests and the ones who declared themselves to be prophets were able to talk to God. Because remember in Lamentations, even after the children of Israel had been destroyed, taken out by the sword, the little remnant of them that were left, they still go ask Jeremiah, we ask God if it is okay for them to run around Egypt. Like, seriously? The people them still believe in the man Jeremiah, the wicked man Jeremiah, and still go ask him to go ask God whether or not it was okay for them to run go Egypt, just for some peace, just to escape. And what Jeremiah tell them, say God say, anyway they go, him a go find them. Them a go dead by the sword, by the famine, or the pestilence. Like what the people supposed to do? What the people is supposed to do? You know? Like seriously. Oh my word. And it's as though those people definitely believed that they had to believe what their prophet said. And in talking about them believing what their prophet said, and that brings to mind the same reason why Israel continuously was losing land and losing people and everything because the kings were depending on the prophets to give them good guidance from God, while the prophets, many of them, were in cahoots with the enemy. So, because they were in cahoots with the enemy, whatever they told the kings to do was beneficial to the enemy. But the children of Israel didn't know that. They just thought that these were their prophets, whatever they were doing, they would be doing it for the benefit of their community. And that's why there was so much infighting amongst the prophets. And they were accusing each other of being fake and fraudulent and liars, because the prophets were saying different things. If a one God, and the one God is, he never changed. You understand? He never changed. And whatever instructions he's giving consistently. Why? Number one, why did they need so many prophets? And why weren't all the prophets saying the same thing? If I the same God I tell them everything, why they weren't saying the same thing? And people say, oh, because some of them were false prophets. Of course, yes. But oh, you know which one was false and which ones were not. You don't know, right? All right. Mike is in the place. Mike, you know, some not start reading until you come, until you win some come. Yeah, that's why I'm the day here I blab my mouth so I talk so much. Because we say me not reading until Mike and Winsome come. Because Mike and Winsome need to hear this. Plumber! Love you, Plumber. Love you, my dear. Bless up yourself. Bless up your nice clean self, Plumber. But this blessed Friday morning here, we are going to read the two last chapters. We are going to read the two last chapters of Ezekiel. Remember, Ezekiel is in captivity. Remember, remember too sweet. And I okra punch them a drink. And the okra punch me drink sweet up my mouth, so. Mind them things the way I drink, you know. Trust me. Mind them things the way I drink. Okra punch and all them things. Be careful. Be careful. Your hip them soon can't set no more. So watch yourself. But anywho, gentle people. Anywho, my dear lovely people. We are going to be reading this morning Ezekiel chapters 47 and 48. Don't forget to follow along with me in your Bible. You know, I'll make a little notes. You follow along with me in your Bible, because the Bible is so much to unpack, guys. Sometimes if I don't want to remind me of something, I don't remember. I don't remember. I have to go back to the Bible and I go back and I try to refresh myself as to why this was said and everything. So I'm gonna keep track. I'm gonna keep track. And remember, I'm not doing this just for me, I'm doing it for us. Yeah, because someone will say, oh, Lord, I don't like read the Bible too big and thick. You know, but you know, so that's what they depended on to bamboozle on the door. Myself make it big and thick, them not gonna read it. We are gonna jumble up the writings them, so them not go, yeah, we are gonna confuse the daylights out of them when they try to read a book, yeah. And you know, we have put 66 books in it. Yeah, and make it confusing for them. Them not gonna want to sit down and read this book, yeah. By the time them read 4 books out of it, them get tired and fling it down and don't want to read it no more. God say, if what they prophesy did not come true, and that make them false prophet. But then again, remember saying, no, God, if them are conspire with the enemy, what them say is going to come true. Of course it is going to come true. Because them are orchestrated. Just like Jeremiah. Jeremiah was orchestrating the destruction of Israel. Jeremiah was working with Nebuchadnezzar to destroy Israel. And then when the destruction came now, Jeremiah jump up, give himself a pat on the back and say, yeah, you wanna see it? You wanna see some of my prophesy come true? But it wasn't that because it came true because Jeremiah was no true prophet. It came true because Jeremiah set up the children of Israel to be destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. Why else would Nebuchadnezzar give a whole heap of present? Why else? Nebuchadnezzar would have given him a whole lot of present and instructed the new governor to give him everything he want, any land where he want, any olive grove or whatever orchard that he want to give it to him. Nebuchadnezzar never have no obligation to Jeremiah like that. So clearly it was him rewarding Jeremiah. He was rewarding Jeremiah for Jeremiah's contribution to his ability to destroy Israel. That's what that was. Because if me say to you say, you're gonna dead tomorrow. How many way you're gonna dead tomorrow? And then you're dead tomorrow. And I prophesy nothing. And then when them find out I me did send somebody come. Child, please. Who this where does somebody come from? Why are you questioning history? Why are you questioning? If you don't know what I'm doing here, please excuse yourself. Thank you very much. Sure. But anyway, let us continue. Let us continue. We are going to read Ezekiel 47 and 48. Afterwards, he brought me again unto the door of the house. Remember, guys, this is Ezekiel's dream. This is in Ezekiel's dream. He says he's talking to God. Gotta give him instructions as to how the new kingdom, the new temple is going to be built, what the measurements are supposed to be, what kind of wood he must use, and giving him instructions about how the people should enter into the tabernacle and all that they should do, where he should put the altar, where he should put the altar for the sacrifices and all these things. Remember, Moses had gotten them instructions. They had claimed to have gotten those instructions as well as to how they must set up the altar and what must be beside it, what must be around it, where they must put all the things, how the temple is supposed to be built. So here Ezekiel is getting his version of how the temple should be rebuilt. Okay, let us continue, guys. Afterwards, he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house, eastward. For the forefront of the house stood towards the east, and the waters came down from under, from the right side of the house, at the south side of the altar. Then he brought me out of the way of the gate, of the north gate, and led me about the way outside unto the outer gate by the way that looked eastward. And behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. When some say the end of this all works finish. Oh, so that again, Sister. So let's continue. Verse 4. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the knees. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through. The waters were now to my loins. Afterwards, he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over. And he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen this? Then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the river. Now when I had returned, behold, at the bank of the river were very many trees on one side and on the other. Then said he unto me, These waters issue out towards the east country, and go down into the desert, and go into the sea, which being brought forth into the sea, the waters shall be healed. And it shall come to pass that everything that lives, which moveth, whithersoever the rivers shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come thither, for they shall be healed, and everything shall live whither the river cometh. And it shall come to pass that the fishers shall stand upon it from En-gedi even unto En-eglaim. They shall be a place to spread forth nets. So these are, like two good fishing spots. Okay, Mike said it's not for me because I work on weekends. Okay, that's Mike and Winsome having a conversation. All right, let us all right, let us continue. They shall be a place to spread forth nets. Their fish shall be according to their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceeding many. Verse 11. But the miry places thereof and the marishes thereof shall not be healed. They shall be given to salt. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. Thus saith the Lord God, this shall be the border, whereby ye shall inherit the land according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph shall have 2 portions. I wonder why Joseph shall have 2. Why Joseph shall have 2 portions? How about that? One for him and one for Benjamin. But if it's for all the children of Israel and Joseph get 2, that not gonna be 12, that gonna be 13 portions, right? But anyway, we continue reading. And he shall inherit it, one as well as another, concerning that which I lifted up my hand to give it unto your fathers. And this land shall fall unto you for an inheritance. And this shall be the border of the land towards the north side, from the great sea, the way of Ethlon, as men go to Zedad, Hamath, Berothal, Sibrim, which is between the border of Damascus and the border of Hamath, Azar Bitikon, which is by the coast of Horon. And the border from the sea shall be Azar Enan, the border of Damascus, and the northwards, and the border of Hamath, and this is the north side. And the east side he shall measure from Horon, and from Damascus, and from Gilead, and from the land of Israel by Jordan, from the border unto the east sea, and this is the east side. And the south side southward, from Tamar, even to the waters of strife in Kadesh, the river to the great sea, and this is the south side southward. The west side also shall be the great sea from the border, till a man come over against Amath. This is the west side. So shall he divide this land unto you according to the tribes of Israel. And it shall come to pass that ye shall divide it by lot for an inheritance unto you and to the strangers that sojourn among you, which shall beget children among you. And they shall be unto you as born in the country among the children of Israel. They shall have inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. And it shall come to pass that in what tribe the stranger sojourneth, there shall he give him his inheritance, saith the Lord God. All right. So Mike said you only enjoy Fridays when the paycheck drop. All right, you are not alone, my friend. So here in Ezekiel chapter 47, Ezekiel is basically continuing to tell us. Oh, God says that double portion for Joseph is for Ephraim and Manasseh. Possibly, yeah, because then he's going to. Is it for him to divide one portion for Ephraim and Manasseh? It might be, right? But we're gonna continue reading. Maybe we might find an explanation for that. Where say what happened to Joseph? Joseph the boat. Joseph, all right. Joseph, all right. Mr. Joseph up to last night. Yeah, I saw him up to last night. Yeah, so him all right, man. Not doing. Him a go on with him nice, good, clean self. Okay, so we're gonna continue. We're going to move on to chapter 48. This is actually the last chapter of the book of Ezekiel. For those of you who are just coming, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Let me just not explain. Let's just give you a little short about what we do here. Every morning we gather here. I am on a journey to read the Bible from beginning to end. Yes, not for any religious reason, but because the Bible has been given to me to read and to follow. And because me love read, I just decided that, well, what's the best place to start with the Bible, so I can know what is in it for myself, because I've been given this Bible since birth and told to follow it, to follow everything that is in it. So it does behoove me to read it and understand for myself what is in it. So as I take on that journey for me, I decide to do it out loud. so you all can hear my fumbles and my jumbles. Yeah, my agreements and my disagreements as I try to understand the Bible. So, come along with me. You all are free to tell me what you think. You all are free to say, if you have read something before, if you have read something somewhere that can contribute to the reading, yeah, me appreciate it. But don't come here, come try to style me or try to step to me. Don't do it. What up, Paul? Paul, where you been? What's up? Where you say correction? We come here to study the Bible. Hey, Paul, that's unloaded, man. That's unloaded, my friend. When they say we come here to come study the Bible, yeah, you can call it a studying, yes. So we are reading for ourselves and I study it and I try to learn for ourselves what is in it. What is then when some you don't have money, whatever guys not gonna hear me at all repeatedly because I'm double streaming, so I'm talking to people here and there. All right. But anyway, welcome, Paul. Happy Friday to you, my friend. How you doing? Good to see you as always. Good to see you. That person there, I want to acknowledge that person on the live. I'm not sure what your name is, but on your profile picture, you are wearing a green altar top blouse. I want to acknowledge you. I don't know your name. Type something in the chat, let me know who you is. But I appreciate you. Every morning I come here, I see you. Every morning I come here, I see you. Welcome. Thank you so much. But I don't know your name. Yeah, I forgot maybe scroll down and see when it says you joined. You came into the live and it might show me the profile picture. But anyway. Oh, a Samantha. All right, Samantha. Bless up yourself. Bless up yourself. Bless up yourself. Yes, darling. I see you. I see you. I see you. Where's the part? You don't get no notification. I don't know what happened to the notification. I don't know what happened to it, my love. I have no clue. But just know, say, I try to be here. I try to be here each morning, anytime between 4 and 6 o'clock. When I work overnight, though, that is impossible. So I would come in at around 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. Yeah, but if you're online and you catch me, you catch me. If you're not online, hey, I mean, and while I do it on the talk, I do it on the tube as well. So if you don't catch me one place, you catch me at the other. But we run them simultaneously. I mean, I have time on my hands like that to do them separately. All right. So anyway, I appreciate y'all guys. We have to move right along into Ezekiel chapter 48. All right. Winter and Micah have a nice conversation over here. So now these are the names of the tribes. These are the names of the tribes from the north end to the coast of the way of Hethion, as one goeth to Hamath, Azar Enan, the border of Damascus northwards, to the coast of Hamath. For these are his sides, east and west, a portion for Dan. So here Ezekiel is claiming that God is telling him, giving him instructions as to how now this land now is going to be divided up again amongst the children of Israel, among the descendants of the sons of Jacob. All right, so here he is outlining where is going to be for Dan. And by the border of Dan, from the east side onto the west side, that portion is going to be for Asher. And then And then he says, and by the border of Asher, from the east side onto the west side, that portion is going to be for Naphtali. Here we go, the name of the tribe. Exactly. Yes, yes, God. Here we go. The tribes, it's coming up. It's telling us now about the division of the land. Which tribe is going to get what? And verse 4 says, and by the border of Naphtali, from the east side onto the west side, a portion for Manasseh. Okay. This a piece is for Manasseh. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side onto the west side, a portion for Ephraim. And by the border of Ephraim, from the east side onto the west side, a portion is for Reuben. Okay. And by the border of Reuben, from the east side onto the west side, that's a portion for Judah. And by the border of Judah, from the east side onto the west side, shall be the offering which ye shall offer of 25,000 reeds in breadth and in length as one of the other parts, from the east side unto the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. The oblation that ye shall offer unto the Lord, that is the sacrifice, that ye shall offer unto the Lord shall be of 25,000 in length and 10,000 in breadth. So 25,000 in length and 10,000 in width. And for them, even for the priests, shall be this holy oblation towards the north, 25,000 in length, and towards the west, 10,000 in breadth, and towards the east, 10,000 in breadth, and towards the south, 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. Verse 11, it shall be for the priests that are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, which have kept my charge, which went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And this oblation of the land that is offered shall be unto them a thing most holy by the border of the Levites. And over against the border of the priests, the Levites shall have 25,000 in length and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 25,000, and all the breadth 10,000. And they shall not sell it. Right, let me keep reading. Oh, you are okay. They shall not sell it. All right. So them cannot sell this land that is being given to them. They shall not sell it, neither can they exchange it. They cannot alienate the first fruits of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. And the 5,000 that are left in the breadth over against the 25,000 shall be a profane place for the city, for dwelling, and for the suburbs, and the city shall be in the midst thereof. And these shall be the measures thereof. The north side shall be 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and on the east side 4,400, and on the west side 4,400. So one of the square, this of them bill, so 4,400 reads on each side. And the suburbs of the city shall be towards the north 250, and towards the south 250, and towards the east 250, and towards the west 250. That's another square piece of land. That's another square piece of land to be used for the suburbs of the city. And the residue of length over against the ablation of the holy portion shall be 10,000 eastwards, 10,000 westwards, and it shall be over against the oblation of the holy portion, and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city. Who has gathered some inspiration from what we just read? Anybody get any inspiration from that yet? Oh, I thought so. I thought so. For those of you who say everything in the Bible is written inspiration, is inspiration. I wonder if you gather some inspiration from what we just read, let me know. Let us continue. Mike, me see I drink Milo, you know. Mike, me see I drink Milo. Where do I drink Milo? You're supposed to drink some Cersei, some king of the forest. You understand? Where do I drink Milo tea? Jay Forever, what's up? Jay, what's up? How you doing? A long time. Oh, I saw you yesterday. I saw you yesterday. A long time I don't see you over upon the place there. Yeah, I have to go over there, go look for you. Why I can't hardly keep up the amount of people I'm supposed to see. I'm supposed to give a hand to. Me can't keep up. It's a whole heap. It's a whole heap. A whole heap. But anyway, let us continue. Verse 19. And they that serve the city shall serve it out of all the tribes of Israel. All the oblation shall be 25,000 by 5. 25,000 by 25,000. He shall offer the holy oblation 4 square with the possession of the city. And the residue shall be for the prince on one side and on the other of the holy oblation, and of the possession of the city, over against the 25,000 of the oblation towards the east border, and westward over against the 25,000 towards the west border, over against the portions for the prince. And it shall be the holy oblation, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof. Moreover, from the possession of the Levites, and from the possession of the city, being in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the borders of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince. And for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin shall have a portion. And by the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon shall have a portion. And by the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar shall have his portion. And by the border of Issachar, from the east side unto the west side, Zebulun shall have his portion. And by the border of Zebulun, from the east side unto the west side, Gad shall have his portion. And by the border of Gad, at the south side southwards, the border shall be even from Tamar unto the waters of strife in Kadesh, and to the river towards the great sea. This is the land which ye shall divide by lot unto the tribes of Israel for an inheritance, and these are their portions. All right. Ezekiel said it's synonymy. And these are the goings out of the city on the north side. And these are the goings out of the city on the north side. 4,500 measures. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel. 3 gates northward. 1 gate is Reuben. 1 gate is called Judah. And the other gate is called Levi. Those are the north gates. Okay? And the east gates. On the east side, 4,500 and 3 gates. And 1 gate is for Joseph, 1 gate is for Benjamin, and the other gate is for Dan. And at the south side, 4,500 measures. And it shall have 3 gates. 1 gate for Simeon, 1 gate for Issachar, and 1 gate for Zebulun. And at the west side, 4,500 with its 3 gates. 1 gate for Gad, 1 gate for Asher, and 1 gate for Naphtali. How many tribes, how many tribes me count? How much? I never 12. Because them never mention, hold on, them are the gates, these gates never mention Manasseh. I guess Manasseh now go get no gate here, so because remember guys, Benjamin and Manasseh always get half and half. Well, on the card right here, so in verse 31 of chapter 48, these gates are Reuben, Judah, Levi. That's 3. The next one is for, the next one to the east side is for Joseph, Benjamin, and Dan. That's 6. And then over on the south side, the 3 gates are Simeon, Issachar, and Zebulun. That's 9. And at the west side, the gates are Gad, Asher, and Naphtali. That makes 12. Manasseh never mentioned here. Yeah, Manasseh never mentioned here. So that means like everything else is, does it mean therefore that, well, the gate them can't separate? So that's why Manasseh don't get mentioned. The gate can't separate. But when it comes on to like the issuing of land, it's you, Manasseh and Benjamin usually get the same land to share. Right, Cad? Guys, remember, say, we are teach and learn at the same time, you know. Not the hallmark of pedagogy, but that's how we are doing. Yes. Yes, win some 12 gates. One of the gate can separate in a 2, so Manasseh is excluded from this one. And the lands, let me see if I talk about the land them what Ezekiel say him get for distribute. We're gonna tell him to distribute among the children of Israel and to give everybody for a possession. Him say up here, so in verse 24. Wait. In verse 22, moreover, from the possessions of Levites and from the possession of the city, being in the midst of that which is the princes, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, shall be for the prince. As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin shall have a portion. And from the border, by the border of Benjamin, from the east side, Simeon shall have a portion. And from Simeon, Issachar, and from Issachar, Zebulun, and from Zebulun, Gad, and from Gad at the north side, it shall border with the country of Tamar, unto the waters of strife in Kadesh. Verse 34 and this 35. Where's some if you do? Look on the tube. So Joseph, the son of Jacob, never had a tribe. Oh, really? What do you mean? Then in a verse 32 here, so it not say it said the gates are going to be for the children of Israel, right? In verse 32 here, so it said these three gates on the east side, one gonna be for Joseph, one for Benjamin, and one for Dan. So what do you mean? So of course he had a tribe. He is mentioned right here in verse 32. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So in a verse 32, it said that the gates on the east side, the three gates on the east side is going to be one for Joseph, one for Benjamin, and one for Dan. All right. Now let us continue. Let us continue, gentle people. We are coming to the end of the book of Ezekiel. Verse 35, this is the last verse. It says, it was round about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be the Lord is there. And that's what I'm going to name the city. The Lord is there. Really? Okay. And the Bible says one of me. It says, and the name of the city from that day shall be the Lord is there. Let me see if I find a word that means the Lord is there. The Lord is there. Hold on there. Let me see if there's one word that stands for that. Okay, so according to Uncle Google, it says Yahweh Shammah, the Lord is there. Biblical meaning and praying the names of God. Yahweh Shammah is the Hebrew name for God, meaning the Lord is there. Okay, so I guess the Hebrew name, therefore, that they would end up calling this place would be Yahweh Shammah. Shammah. Okay, you see, great. So we learned something this morning. Yahweh Shammah, the Lord is there. So here, guys, we have come to the end of the book of Ezekiel. We have come to the end of this morning's reading. It's always a pleasure having you here with me as I continue on this journey. Well, let me tell you, say, this a journey. My shoes full up. I want one if a rock stone. My shoes, trust me, my shoes get wet. It dry back on my foot. It get cheesy. It, I tell you, on this journey here, it not easy. It not easy. But as we read the book of as we have read the book of Ezekiel, when we talk about inspiration, I don't know how I don't know. I haven't read anything that is inspiring about what Ezekiel wrote. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that's just for me. There wasn't any inspiration in it, except a man. It was a man telling his story, writing down what he believed God told him. Whether God tell him or not tell him, I don't know if it's true, but whether it's true or it's not, it's not relevant to me. It's not relevant to me if Ezekiel writing down where God tell him about how to build a Jewish, how to rebuild the Jewish temple and how to rebuild the city and where the children of Israel gonna be and the design for the church and the design for the sacrifice, for the sacrificial tables and who is going to man the church and who is going to that yeah, that not have that not have no relevance to my life. Yeah. So right yesterday, whatever, if there was inspiration that Ezekiel get right there, so that have nothing to do with me. That's just my analysis of that. There's much to say because unless you're going to inspire me to like do better, be better, do something else, you know, me just reading something is like reading a blueprint. If you have drawn up a blueprint about, for example, Jamaica is going to get that new hospital in Spanish Town. It's really an extension of the existing hospital, but a new state of the art um area for the hospital with emergency rooms and all those things. So if you hand me the blueprint for that, I me take that blueprint, I me go it through, I me say, okay, this is where the gate is going to be to the emergency room. This is where the gate is going to be to the X-ray room. This is where the X-ray room is going to be. The X-ray room is going to be 50 by 50. This is where we're going to put the MRI room. This is where, yeah. I mean, I look through it and I go, oh, that going to inspire me. What that going to do for me? Nothing. Knowledge. You at least you look at the blueprint, but you don't have nothing to do with you, with your life. The same thing here. If me reading about what Ezekiel said, God tell him how the temple gonna be built and how much land who gonna get and how much gates and how the people going come in and come out and how they gonna burn sacrifice and all of that. It you know have no impact on me because right now we're not even burning incense. We're not making animal sacrifice to God. So that basically no resonate with me at all. Yeah, you know, have nothing at all to do with me. Simple, plain, and straight up. Right there, so. But anyway, we read it because we are on a quest to read the Bible from the beginning to the end. We know about 3/4 ways through. The rest of it going to take us about the rest of the year to finish reading. We're not in a hurry. We're taking our time and coming here morning after morning. Come read it. All right. So that is where we are going to end this morning's reading. Mike, bless up yourself. Mike, I'm still here listening. Yes. I want to say thanks to everybody who have come into the live, everybody who have contributed to the chat, both chats. I'm talking about each and every one of you. I want to say thank you all so much. Those of you who no shy, who no want to tell me on the live, you know, what you're thinking, and then afterwards, inundate my phone and my messages and tell me not mind. You not tell me because remember say it's a journey, you know, I learn because I don't know a Jesus thing. I am just reading and trying to understand this book for myself. You understand? I'm sharing it with you all. I don't know nothing. So if you say, oh, my ear chirp say this and my ear said chirp say that, I'm gonna look it up and it not go so you better forgive me and let's move on. Because I'm reading right, Mike? Because I don't preach me, I preach. I have no theology background. I am not teaching. I am not preaching. I am reading and trying to understand the context of what I am reading. And these old Jewish writings, I want to know who determined that these ancient Jewish writings were supposed to be the moral compass for everybody. But anywho, that was just a thought that popped in my head and leaked out through my mouth. But anywho, we are going to continue on this journey, guys. We are going to continue. I appreciate you all. That's where we are going to end the reading for this morning. When you see me again later, it's going to be with the final words of inspiration from the book, The Four Agreements. Yeah. I'm not too in a no big rush. I'm not too in a no big hurry. May I take my time? May I take my time and read? Me not sit down and read one whole heap of sentence one time. No, me I take my time and read what me I read little bit at a time. Me not in a no rush. Nobody not rush me. You understand? Yeah. So this book that we had been reading the other day called The Four Agreements. A very nice little motivational book, a nice little book to start your day off with, to help you to keep yourself circumspect, you know, by not taking everything personally and not being angry and watching your words and speaking kindly and so forth. You know, nothing is wrong with that. You know, those are good traits to exhibit, especially in this world where everybody seems to be so angry. Everybody is angry. Your bad drive somebody, they might take out them pew pew. Last week, after the games in Miami, the young man, you know, the whole heap of vehicle, them, there are so many vehicles on the road and everybody's story is bumper to bumper traffic. I know sometimes when you're coming from those games, people are all hyped up and whatever, and the young man used his hand and hit on, was slamming his hand on somebody's bumper. What they call it, on somebody's car. Was slamming his hand on somebody's car. And if somebody slam them hand on your car, you get up, you come out of the car and take your pew pew and analyze them. That is how disconnected we are from each other. That is how towards each other these days. Somebody says something where you know like your first instinct is not to walk away, is not to just throw words and go on about the business. No, sir. You have to get analyzed and dirted. You understand? And we consider say we claim to be such a religious people, such a people who believe and follow the Bible. But in those events, that's what we are doing. We are following the Bible. But anywho, that's all this violence. Me see where I want to get it from. Yeah, me see where I want to get it from. But anywho, we are going to move right along. When I come back, I am going to be reading from the fourth agreement, but I don't want to intertwine the fourth agreement into the Bible reading. I don't want to intertwine it with the Bible reading because they are separate and apart. So, in 4 minutes time, we will start the reading of this book, The Four Agreements. Okay? So y'all come back with me, come back and join me as we read this. We read a few pages of this book. Give you a little bit of inspiration to go out on your day, to go out for the day, to a little bit of encouragement to help you to deal with those gnarly people who you are going to probably have to deal with at school, at work, on the train, at the bus stop, in the office, somewhere you are going to encounter online here, online, you are going to end up encountering a lot of gnarly people. You understand? So I want to give you some words of encouragement as to how to deal with those people as you go throughout your day. All right? That's going to be it from me for this morning, my friends. Thanks again, Samantha and Cad and Paul and everybody else who have come into the live. Mike, Winsome, who else was here? Several other people were here. Mike was here, Winsome was here, AG was here, Tisha was here, Plummer was here, Cortian, my dear friend Cortian was here. Plummer, Tisha, Mike, Winsome, several others. If me never call your name, it's not with no intent. Yeah, hush, if me never call your name. But to all the people who are on the tube and all the people on the talk, I want to say thank you all for coming to join me. Tomorrow morning, we will be here again. But tomorrow morning, we are not going to start the book of Daniel tomorrow morning. Yeah, because me not like to start the book when me tired. Me have to work tonight. When I come off tomorrow morning, me have to be tired. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna gather here for sure, but we're not gonna start the reading of the book of Daniel. Instead, we're going to go over some things that we found in the Bible as we have been reading. Some strange things, some questionable things we're gonna go over tomorrow morning. All right. So that's where we're gonna end this morning, guys. Thanks to everybody again for coming. Have yourselves a great day, guys. And whatever you do, don't forget that your journey matters. It may not matter to nobody else, and it don't have to matter to nobody else. Make it matter to you because you matter and you are important. Okay? So don't make nobody call you down and tell us that you can talk about your story and you cannot exhibit your journey in front of the world. You exhibit your journey or you see fit. Yeah? Because we're not make nobody call we down anymore. All right? Yeah, we take our time and we grow bit by bit. And when we stumble, we catch up ourselves and we get back on track and we keep going again and again and again. Because none of us come here to stay forever. And one thing is sure, we are all gonna go out the same way. Dead. All right. Sean Manizo, how you doing, Sean? How you doing? Blessed morning to you, my love. We are hopping off the live right now. You come late, Sean, or you did it all along. Yeah. But we are up for the live right now, guys. So I'm going to have yourself a good day and tell no one you have seen me today. Have a great day, guys. Tell no one you have seen me today. All right. Tell them you only hear my voice. All right, people. Bless up on yourself. Bless up on yourself. Bless up on yourself. All right. All right. So let us go. Sister Winsome. All right. Sean said I do okay. All right. Wonderful. Sister Winsome, all is good. All is good. All right. Here we go now. We're going to read a book here. But me I go switch. Me I go switch.